Reality. Reality receipts.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Reality Receipts podcast starring me, Storytime with Ricky.
And me, Reality Ashley. We're finally back to recap The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives Season 3. We tried to do this yesterday. We were just laughing about how much of a shit show both of our lives are right now. I'm sure you guys can relate. It's just, I know it's a holiday in your country this week and everything just feels a mess. Or maybe it's because we took like 4 or 5 days off, which I only
Yeah.
we've done before. So we just can't catch up. But
Yeah.
we're getting there. We're getting there.
Done.
We've had sick kids, flat tires, dogs barking, like anything that could go wrong. I think Mercury's in retrograde. That
Oh my
does
God,
it.
literally my friend just texted me because we did a Friendsgiving. She wanted to go have coffee. I wasn't going to be able to have coffee anyway because we
No.
have so much to do today and I got to go get my tire fixed. And she said, retrograde's kicking everyone's ass. Now, I'm not a retrograde believer. I don't believe in the retrograde lore. I feel like Mercury's always in retrograde every time I look up. And if we, if we followed that, we'd always be in shambles. Because I'm like,
Yeah.
when is it not in retrograde? But
it feels like it
yeah,
this week.
the week, it's the holiday week for me, at least. I think there's a lot going on. So, but
Yeah.
we're getting to it, don't you guys? All right.
Yes, we watched it, so it's just a matter of getting in here and talking about it because, yeah, like we said, our life was shenanigans this week, but we're getting caught up now. Plus, honestly, every hour there's more tea coming out with this cast and the fighting, and they really ramp it up during the airing of the show, which I thought was cool that we got to see a little bit of that, but that's after, not what we're talking about today. So we're gonna do episodes 1 to 4 today and then do the rest of the season on Friday. So we'll have everything out this week. I know it's hard when they drop a whole season at once because some people watch it all the first day. Some people take a couple weeks, so everyone's at a different spot. I don't like when they do that. Like, give us just a little bit at a time so we can like soak it in and have the tea for that episode because you end up just moving on from the first half so quickly, right?
Yeah, it's a lot, like dropping a whole season. And then, if you guys probably know, but these girls are super active on social media. Like, they have millions of followers, so they're always posting something. They're fighting. It's a lot to keep up with. I think Jesse posted something so shocking just this morning, and I'm like, wait, I need to get through the whole season.
Well, what they're fighting about is like what happens in the first few episodes. So I feel like we could talk about it. If you missed it, Jessie just put in her stories, and we also put it on our Instagram, that the fruity pebbles that we've all been wondering about since season 1, because someone brought Demi a box of fruity pebbles as a joke, and it was an inside joke between them, some sexual act that her and her husband like to do. So for 2 years, we've all been wondering, what is this fruity pebble? Some people thought she like put them inside of her or something. It is nastier than we thought. So do you want to tell the people what it is?
Well, someone in my comments actually said that I guess Brett had said the joke was that her hoo-ha smells like fruity pebbles, and like that's what it was. But you guys, Jessie just spilled the pot, and she said that fruity pebbles is that Brett likes to gulp her urine, like gulp her
Like
urine.
water.
Like I think he said like soda. I'm like, you won't drink coffee and you won't drink alcohol, but you drinking pee. Something ain't right in the water over there in Utah. Like, I am just like, oh my God. Like, this way you don't tell your friends your business.
She called him Grandpa Brett, too, which, if you don't know, he's 16 years older than Demi. Obviously, he knew her since she was 9, which is nasty. He was a family friend, but then they didn't hook up till she was of age, I guess, hopefully. And yeah, he was on. He actually has a lot of reality TV connections, which I can't remember. I think we talked about it when we covered season 2, but he was on The Bachelorette season, and he was married to Angie from Salt Lake City Housewives, not Angie K that we all know and love, but there's another Angie that was on previous seasons. That's his ex-wife. So he's been trying to get on TV for a while, and now here he is. So
yeah.
and we
Yeah,
know too much.
and we know too much. And the thing is like Demi and Brett, like I know that they've been known for like fishing storylines. Like Demi was even considering saying she had an affair with Dakota. So it makes me wonder about the validity of some of the things that they say. Now, this seems entirely diabolical. Like, who would actually fake that or come up with that or
Yeah.
make that up? Like, so again, this is why you keep your marital shit in the bedroom
Yeah.
between you and your man, or else the whole entire world will know that you like to slurp slurp
Ugh.
the slurp pee. Like I've actually never. Well, I guess I was gonna say I've never heard of that. Like I've heard of like golden showers, but
Yeah.
then
That
but
seems
the
a little less nasty, right?
I
Like,
mean
it's still
it's
nasty.
still nasty. But then during the whole like R. Kelly wave, I don't know if you watch the documentaries on R. Kelly. I
No.
think that was like a thing he was allegedly making them do, or some things that the
Ugh.
victims were saying that even with the fecal matter,
Oh.
even with yeah, he was like they were like eating and drinking his piss and shit. So I guess
Oh
it
my
could get worse.
gosh.
I don't know. People have
Like,
their
isn't that a health hazard? That would be my
health.
concern,
Yeah.
right? Because I remember
Mhm.
that Sex and the City storyline where the politician wanted her to pee on him, and I'm like, that was pretty nasty, but I mean, at least no one is gonna get sick off of that. But I feel like, yeah, isn't there like E. coli and like other things you could get?
I'm not
Also,
sure. I
I
don't
did
think you're
Google,
supposed to
like,
drink it.
is your yeah, I Googled, like, is your pee supposed to taste like Fruity Pebbles? And it says if now, I'm not a doctor, so this is Google, but it said if your pee is sweet, that's a sign of having diabetes, so Demi might need to see a doctor because I don't think it's supposed to taste like Fruity Pebbles.
Oh, so that okay, so that's the connection, is that it tastes like the
I'm assuming.
yeah.
Or smells? I don't know, one of the 2. It had something to do with Fruity Pebbles, so I'm assuming it tastes like that. That's all I could connect the 2, but that's not a good sign
I
according to
don't know.
Doctor Google, so
I thought they just gave their sexual act a name and named it Fruity Pebbles, but
I
yeah,
would think it has
that's the latest
maybe it
tea.
has nothing to do with it. I'm just assuming that it tastes like that, that's where the name came from. It has to be some
Yeah.
reason, right?
Yeah.
But it is very confusing because it's like pebbles. It has to be the taste because it's not the consistency. So this podcast is taking a gross turn. So hopefully you guys aren't eating while you're listening to us
Sorry,
today.
that's just
Yeah.
the tea. That's what Jessie said, not us. We didn't say it. She
Yeah.
revealed the infamous Fruity Pebbles, and it was that. So Demi has yet to
Mm.
respond. I have heard that she's been going off all week in the
Oh,
comments, like
she
she's
did
kind of spiraling. Oh, she did? Oh, what'd she say?
She
Let
did
us know.
respond, and Jessie put it in her story, not, like, directly to that, but she said something to the effect of, like, "Oh, I thought Jessie took a social media break, and this is all it took." I said, "I thought she took a break from social media. Good to know this is all it took to have that fame whore come crawling back." And then someone else commented, "Your carriage, milady, and it's a dumpster."
I'm like, okay, first of all, if you gonna respond, bitch. Or what do
Yeah,
you have
that's
to
not
say
a
for
good
yourself?
response.
Like, that's not a good response. Like,
She didn't deny it.
you're deflecting. You're like,
Yeah,
oh, this is what it took for her to come back. I don't care. I don't give a fuck about none of that. Is Brett drinking the pee or not? Like, say something about it. Like it. And the thing is if it wasn't true, she'd be like, this is
yeah.
ridiculous. Like, oh my god, that's not what Fruity Pebbles is. Fruity Pebbles is this. Like.
Mhm.
So and it all came from Jessie was responding to a comment about Demi. Demi had left a comment like, "Oh, I know that Jessie's punching the air right now. That Lisa Vanderpump is talking about me and not talking
Mhm.
about her," which is
Yeah.
insane because Lisa is not even talking about her in a positive manner. Lisa's basically saying she believes Marciano regarding the SA. If you guys don't know, Demi is kind of saying that Marciano grabbed her booty, and Lisa
Mhm.
Vanderpump is saying, like, we have it all on tape. There's footage. Like, so
Mhm.
whatever Demi's saying is not accurate. So I don't know why. I don't know why Demi would think that Jessie would want Lisa Vanderpump to talk about her in that way. It's not like it's a
No.
good thing. It's not a good thing. So,
Yeah. And Demi is also fighting with Marciano online, and she said something pretty heinous. She like commented about I guess Marciano's father has passed away, and in a comment that she's now deleted, she said something about that. She said like, "Oop, looks like he deleted it, found his weak spot. Looks like he's not so tough after all. Was your daddy this big of a pussy too? I'm sure he's looking down, so disappointed in what an embarrassment you've turned out to be. There's still time to turn it around and tell the truth." Yeah, and so he commented, "Holy fuck, I didn't know people could be this sick in the head. Attack my brother or me, that's fine, but to attack my father who is no longer alive is wild. You need serious help." And then tagged Secret Life's on Hulu, the Instagram page for that. And they said, like, "This is crazy, you crossed the line." So she did delete the comment. So I'm obviously just taking his word that that's real. It looks real. It's her username and everything, but she's deleted it. But that's what Jesse's referring to. I think when she says Demi crash out, she's just commenting everywhere. She also made a video alleging that everything on the show is fake. And she, did you see that little ad? It was like an ad she did, and she's like, "This is what it's like on reality TV," and it was like being forced to say lines. So Jesse responded to that, saying, "Maybe you do that, but like none of us do." So, I mean, yeah, I was gonna say, I think we can all. The storyline is a little sus, right? Like, I do find parts of it are probably true, but I definitely think that after Demi said that they had a brainstorming call for season 2 to figure out what was their finale gonna be, and they came up with Demi having an affair with Dakota, that's what makes me question this whole storyline, because they were
100%.
brainstorming. They didn't have anything. How perfect to have a crossover with another star on another show on Hulu. But then I'm like, I don't know that Jordan would say, like, allow, like, he's being called an emotional abuser and a lot of really dark things. So I don't think people would go that far for a storyline. I do think there is some true things that they're kind of putting together this dramatic thing with, right? Or do you think
Yeah.
it's all real?
I don't think it's real at all. So
No.
obviously, we'll just get into our recap of episodes 1 through 4. It's like heavily, heavily based around. Obviously, last season ended on the wave of this jaw dropping moment where Marciano tells Layla not only did he kiss to me, but he had an ongoing affair with Jesse, and he says out of his own mouth that they had sex. Now, at the end of last season, I felt this way, and going into this season, I thought it was going to be more circled around Demi. I think Demi is clearly having issues with production. She's clearly having issues with that. So they're
Mhm.
trying to minimize her role in this show, in my opinion. They're trying to get rid of her. Clearly, she's airing them out. She's unhinged. She's unstable. And so now they're like, how do we pivot this storyline without making her the main focus? And it was like,
Yeah.
oh, Jesse. And we're going to say kissing instead of sex. And we're going to say
Mhm.
emotional affair instead of affair. And to me, it's bullshit. Like, I do not,
Yeah.
it was really hard to watch these first 4 episodes because no part of me believed that this was true. Like,
No.
Marciano is not even that hot. Like, he's not hot at
No.
all. Not my type. He's full of
No.
Botox and filler. I don't get the lure. Like, I'm like, this is crap. This is not
Yeah.
real. Did you guys buy it? Did you buy it? Like,
No, I don't buy it at all. I definitely like there's a point in the first episode, I think, where Jesse says to like the girls or somebody like, "This is usually Taylor and now it's me." And I definitely feel like they all watched Taylor go through this. She had an affair, she was swinging, she did all these like horrible things that are usually so frowned upon, but because she was so real and open and honest, like people really embraced her and became like a hero after even like other people on shows like, Sandoval comes to mind. You have an affair. It doesn't matter what's going on in that relationship, how that other person treated you. You say this, and that. Like, you had the affair, you're a monster, right? And that's
mhm.
usually how we feel as viewers. But Taylor did that, and she's just so lovable and so honest and so vulnerable that people embraced her and love her, right? And so I think Jesse saw that, and definitely I think some people might not be willing to do that, to put themselves out there and like maybe tarnish their character a little, but the benefits to doing that, like what we saw with Taylor, are just
Mhm.
so great financially and fame wise, that I think she really saw that and took that and ran with it. But then again, like I say, I don't know. It is hard to believe that her husband would be okay with all of this, right?
It,
Like,
clout is a hell of a drug. Money is a
Mhm.
hell of a drug. We don't know what they offered them in order to
True.
like move forward with this storyline. It was obviously enough for it to be worth it to them. I just thought that the whole like Layla going out to the car, telling
Yeah.
Jesse's reaction, like it was not believable. It was not, it
Mhm.
seemed very, very scripted. I think even in certain parts throughout the episodes, we see oh, something Demi says something about payment, like that Marciano said, "Oh, they're gonna pay me this much to go through with the storyline." It's just
Yes.
bullshit. Like it's bullshit. It's clearly, very clearly bullshit.
Yeah.
Like you said, like they were gonna go with this Demi and Dakota storyline, and they clearly came up with this instead. I think because they need to not make Demi the focal point of a storyline. If Demi
Mhm.
was willing to go as far as to say that she's cheating with one with
Dakota.
Taylor's man and her man's friend, yeah, these women are willing to falsify a storyline to
Mhm.
to whatever ends is going to make the story successful. I didn't I didn't find
No.
this one to be believable.
I mean, I didn't find it to be believable at all either, but sometimes when we're covering a show, it's like, okay, I have to watch this by this day, but like I already watched the whole season, even though we're not covering it yet, because I'm still, even though I know the storyline is fake, something about these women is very interesting to watch.
100%.
They're, I don't know, I just like watching them and I was interested. And I will say the second half of the season gets a little bit more away from the Marciano stuff, and I enjoyed the second half way more. So if you're feeling like us, like this feels like bullshit, keep watching because there is more like when they go to do all the press for season 2, they follow them on that, and that's really interesting because obviously we watched all these interviews and stuff, and so you get to see the behind the scenes. They really embrace like the fourth wall, obviously. Like the whole plot of a few of these episodes is doing press for season 2. So at first I'm like, I don't know if I like that on a reality show, but I do think it's just the way of the future, right? Like the social media of it all, having breaking the fourth wall is you can't really pretend anymore that like, oh, the cameras aren't there and this is real, it's like the end of the hills where they turn to the camera and we're like, oh, it was all fake. They embrace it, and I think you just have to like suspend belief to watch the show and just get into the drama. But yeah, I definitely liked the second half better, I'll just say that.
Okay.
So the Marciano stuff for me is hard to get on board with because I think he does say at one point, is it to Jesse or Taylor or somebody, where he's like, they wanted me to say this, right? So like the they is production, obviously. So
Yeah,
I feel like they're so interesting. They don't have to make up these storylines though. Like I
exactly.
would watch it without the Marciano of it all, but
Yeah, I
yeah,
think I agree with you. I think that that's where reality TV goes wrong is when they start trying to pull the strings and create these
yes.
storylines. Honestly, I think that Jesse and Demi's friendship falling out would have been enough to keep us
Hmm.
all hooked. Why? What
Yeah.
happened? They were so close. Like, let us see more of that. That's real versus like, or is it real? I don't know. Like throwing this
Hmm.
Marciano in it. I feel like it was unnecessary. And again,
Yeah.
I think even at one point was like, "Oh, like, Demi said if I do this, then, I get screen time and camera time and she's
Yeah.
not even filming." So now it's like he's pivoting to, "Okay, well, you're filming this and you're filming this, so like I'm just going to get in where the camera is." To me, episodes 1 through 4 had a lot of Michaela and Macy, which
Yeah.
I'm not fans of Michaela and Macy. I don't like them. What are your thoughts on them? Do you like them? Do you vibe with them? They're not my type of bitches. I find them to be incredibly annoying.
Yeah. I don't think I definitely prefer like the Taylor to me, Jesse. Find them a lot more compelling. They're sort of just there for like, I wouldn't even say the comic relief because I don't find them like that funny, but they're
Nope.
kind of just there to drive the storyline, right? Like they went to meet with Marciano and like add a little bit of they're sort of like the even keeled ones, where we have all this drama going on. We kind of have to have a few people that are kind of on the more boring side. Otherwise, it's just chaotic, right? So I
Right.
mean, I have a lot more to say about them from what comes in the second half of the season, like Michaela specifically, and like that gets into her marriage a lot, which is another thing. Some of the storylines, I don't know, but yeah, I could do without them. But then again, it is nice to see people who maybe have a little bit more of like their shit together, right? Like they're not having the affairs, and they seem a little more like
I guess, but to
reasonable, I
me,
guess.
I guess, but to me, it's like this force, like we're besties, we're actually friends, and we're just trying to be these besties of the year. Michaela's actually, I find her to be very unlikable. Macy's a bit more likable to me. Michaela
Mhm.
seems like a fucking asshole to me. Like she seems like a raging bitch. Like I don't know why. I just get that through the screen. I could
Uh-huh.
be completely wrong.
You got
I
them you know who is who, right? Michaela is the darker haired.
Yeah,
Macy is the
I
okay,
got
just
him. Yeah,
checking.
I got
Yeah.
him. I got him. Ace.
Just
They
checking.
all do look alike. What's
Just checking.
the really the new one that they let in
Miranda.
Miranda? I was about to call her Mackenzie. I find Miranda to be. I think
Definitely
she's
don't need her.
stunning. I think she's
Oh, okay.
stunning. She's
Yeah.
probably like physically the cutest one to me. Boring as fuck.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't even know if she wants to be there, to be quite honest. Like, she seems like she's just so over these girls' shit. Like,
Mhm.
she's so not into it. Like, I'm like, do you want to be in Mom Talk? It doesn't seem like you want to be in
Yeah.
Mom Talk. Like, it's
I
very,
think
very confusing to me.
yeah, she's only there because she's Chase's ex-wife, and he's obviously adding some drama to the show, and there's the whole thing with no Demi saying that he pushed her last season when he didn't. So I feel like they're just keeping her around for future storylines. But yeah, she's not adding a whole lot yet, but that might change, I think. But I think Michaela and Macy were just featured so much in the first 4 episodes because we were missing half of our cast because of
Okay.
contract issues. Like, I
Yeah.
think Demi
Maybe
wouldn't
that's
sign,
just
so she wasn't there. Whitney wouldn't sign, so she wasn't there. And Taylor, they said Taylor went to like a therapy retreat.
a
What did
retreat.
you think that was facts, or did they just was it something else going on they couldn't tell us about?
I don't know. I think I don't know. Maybe she really went to a retreat, but it might have been a contract issue. But she's so loved that they're not going to throw her in the Demi
No.
and Whitney pot.
Yeah. But just surprising to me that they would start filming without these 3 main characters. It was a little
Same.
strange.
I
Uh-huh.
thought the same thing. I'm like, where is everybody? No, half
Yeah.
of them are here, half of them are not here. The show
I think
absolutely needs Taylor. Like those first 4 episodes without her, or most, she wasn't in, a lot of it. Snooze fest, like snooze
yeah.
fest. Like they're dragging this Marciano. The 2 pregnant girls are driving across like 2.5 hours to go meet with this guy. To say what? First of all, it's like in one breath, it's like, who fucking care? You couldn't have done this on FaceTime. Like you had to drive and go see him, and then it's like, oh my God, we got him to reveal this. We got
Yeah.
him to reveal that. Like you
Well,
just
I kind
asked
of
him a
wonder
question.
I think you're right. Like, I think they started filming to put pressure on the girls that wouldn't sign, right? I think it was like they were holding out for more money and they were like, we're going to start filming without you. We don't need you, right? They put Jesse as the star role with this affair and they had the other girls and they had to start filming to put that pressure on the girls to sign, right? If they just kept waiting for them, then it would just keep waiting them out. So I think they started filming and then that's why we see Demi show up like episode 3 to not even mic'd up because she's like, "Oh, damn, they're doing this without me. I need to get on it." So I think part of me wonders if Taylor was kind of in the same boat of like holding out for more money too, and then they went back and like filled in with a scene of her going to therapy so they could explain why she was away for that first couple of episodes. But I don't know. Maybe she
100%.
did do the I know she does focus a lot on her mental health and therapy, but like she does have 3 very small kids and I'm just like I can't imagine just going away for 2 weeks like that, but then if you need it, you need it, right? So it just
Yeah.
felt like weird timing, right? You
Weird
wouldn't
timing. Weird
yeah.
timing for them all to be gone. So,
Yes.
yeah,
It
again, a
feels
very, very, it felt very scripted. Those first couple of episodes, the Marciano of it all, he definitely there for the camera time, definitely thirsty
mhm.
for the camera time,
Yeah.
definitely. But I mean, will get to the whole lie detector test of it all because I thought
Yeah.
that was super ridiculous. But like, it
Mhm.
just, I don't know. The first couple of episodes, I don't know. I was expecting like this explosive, like, oh my God, there was an affair. They did fuck. They did. Like, Jordan is so mortified. And I'm like,
Mhm.
really? We're going with emotional affair? That's what we're going with? We're going with 2 kisses and an emotional affair.
Right,
Okay.
because when we get down to it, no one fucked. There was just some kisses. this whole thing is about kisses. Like, yes, that is still cheating, but
What are we in middle school?
uh,
Were
that's
there kisses? I don't even believe that
like
there were
kisses
kisses.
on the
Like, come
cheek.
on, Taylor Frankie Paul's like talking about sucking dick and everything. Like, you know what I mean? She's like,
Yeah.
she's like my husband's dick. I wasn't the other. I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
And
I feel like
even
it's
that they tried to minimize, right? Soft swinging. No, bitches, y'all was in there sucking dick.
yeah. And I'm like, I feel like, yeah, they if Jesse was gonna go with the storyline, commit then and say you had sex with him. But they've kept it just enough so it's like a scandal, but not enough that people can't get over it, right? Like, and I know Jesse did the Viall Files last week, a whole hour to herself. Now tomorrow is Jordan, a whole hour to himself, and then next week they're gonna do it together. So like there and she's changed her last name to her maiden name, which is a lot more easy to pronounce. It's Draper, but her husband's last name is I can't even say it. It's so complicated. It's like Nagatara. I can't even say it. So that I think is just for fame purposes. I think when she changed her last name, everybody was like, "Oh no, they really are getting a divorce." But I don't know. I think she just knows that she's gonna blow up from this and wanted to change the name all she could. But do you
do
think
you
that?
do you
Oh,
think
what were
she's
you gonna
gonna
say?
blow up from this?
She thinks so. I mean, they
No.
just got renewed for season 4, we just heard, so it must have done well. And they actually ordered 20 more episodes, so that's 2 more seasons. So it must be doing well. I don't know. Do you think she's to Taylor's level now or no?
No!
No.
I know. The thing is that Taylor has something about her. Like some
Yeah.
people just have that, and I don't know what that is. It's like
Yeah.
somebody just has that like I don't want to call it like star power or star quality of the personality, the riz if you will. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like some people have it.
Uh-huh.
You either have it or you don't. Taylor Frankie Paul has it. Jessie does
Mhm.
not have it. She does not have
Yeah.
that. So, I don't know if she thought that this storyline was going to give her that, but to me it did not. I like you said you enjoy the rest of the season. I haven't watched it yet, so I need to
Mhm.
see. I think that Jessie's definitely likable. I think
Yeah.
she's a likable character. I don't dislike her. I think she's sweet. She seems like a genuinely like a good person. But I don't know, she doesn't have that oomph, you know?
Do you think the turmoil in her marriage and, like, her mom and sister saying, like, "We thought you'd leave him a long time ago," like, do you think all of that is true, though?
It seems true. It seems
Yeah.
true. Yeah, it seems true, and like you said, like, who would wanna go with a fake storyline knowing that all of this stuff about, like, her real life shit's gonna come out with
Mhm.
her husband not being the kindest to her? Seems like he's a little emotionally and verbally abusive. I think we saw a little glimpse of it when,
Mhm.
they were talking. What did you think of that conversation where first of all, let's backtrack. What do you think of the lie detector test of it all, them going to dinner with Marciano, and then Jordan's
Well,
reaction to that?
I mean, I think I was on Taylor's side here, and I don't wanna say Jordan's side, but I do think it was crazy of her to go for dinner with him or to even continue any contact. I totally understand the lie detector wanting to, like, prove yourself, but to sit in a hotel room with him and then go for dinner with him if you are wanting to fix that marriage sounds crazy, and I just try to think of it from the other way, like the men said when they went over to her house, like, if they did that with one of those women, like, how Taylor went and met that girl that Dakota allegedly had a thing with, if Dakota had gone for lunch with her or something, we would be like, "What a piece of shit," right? So,
Yeah.
I think it didn't need to happen. They didn't need to be in the same room, but it's for the storyline, obviously. So, I was with Taylor on that, thinking he didn't need to be there at the
Did you
lunch, but
think what did you think about, Jesse and Marciano's interaction?
I don't know, and this is the other thing is she had all those texts going back a few episodes. Remember when they went to that party and she's reading out the text to everybody, and Jordan's walking around in the background, and he was like, I want to see your vagina or something. Like those must be real, no? Like that's what I'm saying. Like I think maybe some of this is true, like the turmoil in her marriage, and maybe she did do some flirty texts with him, or do you think all the texts are fake too?
There's no way to tell. Like, did we
Yeah.
see the text with our eyes? They could be they could that could also be scripted. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To like there needs to be some backstory to it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So it could be scripted. It could be you could be reading fucking anything, bitch. Let me see the call log. Let me see what time the call came through. You know we need. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
I think
I
you're right
thought that there
about
was a little giddy energy between them, but again,
yeah.
I don't know if that was to me there was an energy between them. It seemed like if something did go on, she's a little giddy about it. And I do think she
Mhm.
was absolutely wrong for going to dinner with him. Like if
Yeah.
a man did that with a girl that he cheated on his wife with, we would be up in arms about it. And I think that it's so easy for people to like because the whole conversation that I'm seeing online is like how Jordan spoke to Jesse and it gets it off of the topic of what Jesse did, you know?
Mhm.
He
Yeah.
had every right to be upset. He had every right to be mad. Like would I would be upset too. I'd be livid, you know?
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that how he spoke to her was okay, but people are focusing on the wrong thing. Like what she did wasn't cool if she actually had an
Mhm.
affair with this man. But again, obviously this is like an ongoing thing in their marriage that like
Mhm.
I
Well,
don't
and
know.
people online have said that she actually cheated on her first husband with Jordan, and so, like, affairs are not, like, a new thing to her, so, like, it is
Oh, well
yeah,
damn.
so it isn't, like, crazy to think that she had this flirtation with Marciano. So that's where I'm torn, where I'm like, I don't know what is real and what's not. I think you're right, where, like, it was Demi that actually had a flirtation with him on Vanderpump Villa. They continued talking in the DMs flirtily. That was the plan for the season going forward. Then Demi started being a pain in the ass, and they had to pivot, and so I don't know how much like, maybe Jesse had been flirty with him in the DMs too, but we didn't see them flirting at all on Vanderpump Villa, I don't think, so it just kinda came out of nowhere, so that's where it's
Yeah,
hard to follow.
yeah. It literally I would bet my bottom dollar that that's what happened. Like Demi knows that she's going to be like the main
Mhm,
storyline of season 3, so she's giving production hell. Like, oh, like you know,
mhm,
chip on her shoulder. You can't do this shit without me. Pay me an obscene amount of money because we've already set it up to where I'm going to be the main talking point of season 3. So you
yeah,
can't do this shit without me. And she's trying to call shots and now it's like, okay, watch how we pivot this. Watch how we motion this in another direction. And it's like,
yeah,
what's better than her friend who looks just like her?
yeah,
And you know what I mean? And now they're having a falling out. Like, so again, I
mhm.
do think that when you start trying to plant these stories, it gets like really too fake. What did you think of him bringing her flowers?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's just trying to sell it. I don't know. Like, yeah, we're hearing that he told Demi he was in love with her, and then now he's in love with Jesse. So I don't know anything that Marciano's doing on screen. I don't believe, right? And this is the thing with all the drama going online about what's going on with Demi accusing him, right? I think it's the language that she's using where people are getting frustrated because she's comparing herself. And I think this is after episode 4, so I won't go too deep into it, but she's comparing herself to some of the other girls on the cast who've opened up about their sexual assault. Do I think Marciano would grab someone's ass without asking? Yes. Like, I feel like that's something he would do, right? And so I
Yeah.
don't know that he didn't do that to her. I think but then she continued to speak with him after and text him and send pictures of her daughter. And so that's where people are having a hard time, where it's like he obviously felt like you wanted him to grab his ass, but that doesn't make it okay. So it's hard. She's making us have to side with this greasy Marciano who I don't trust, right? But then she's throwing out things like sexual assault and comparing herself to these girls who've had these horrible abuse stories, and that's where you're like, "Well, I don't know what you're doing here." So, I don't know, like, I don't you never wanna say you don't believe a woman, and that's what the whole cast is struggling with, but then they saw with their own eyes Demi and Marciano flirting and texting and talking for, like, months after,
Yeah, I
so
mean, I think he did grab her ass, and I think
yeah.
that it was probably mute like you said, she wanted him to grab her ass,
Mhm.
which is why he grabbed her ass, or he thought it was okay. He thought they were in a space to ass grab. Like if I'm kissing you, you know, maybe I
Yeah.
grabbed your ass too. Like, you know what I mean? And again, I haven't seen the rest of the season, so I don't know how it trickles down. All I know is that this Jesse and Marciano shit is fake. That's all I
Yeah.
know. Like, it's so fake. I didn't buy it for a single second.
What did you think of Demi showing up to also, the other thing I found annoying about these first 4 episodes is the events, and every event was a brand, and they had to talk about the brand, and it's like they're obviously making a killing on the show with the brand events, and that's what makes it kinda interesting. It's
There's a
become like a
brand event at on every single first of the first
well,
4
they've
episodes.
yeah, they've taken a TikTok branded, like, sponsored post and flipped it into a TV show. It's like a branded TV show, which is, interesting and very, like, on point with the times. But yeah, it's like I guess it doesn't take away from the story at all, but it is kind of distracting. It's like this they keep naming the event by the brand, and I'm like, who's getting paid for what? Do they all get paid for it? I don't know. They even say, like, on the show that where I'm here for business. Like, it's not even a matter of what they get paid for the show, it's all the brand deals, it's a lot of money, so but what did you think of Demi showing up, even though she wasn't filming?
I mean, they knew she was gonna be there,
Mhm,
so I think she knew that they were gonna be there. And again, I don't know. I need your thoughts on Layla this season because that's a whole 'nother thing. She's getting a lot of camera time. She didn't really get much last season.
mhm,
Um, I think she knew they were gonna be there. I think they knew she was
yeah,
gonna be there. And I mean, I do appreciate that Layla kind of was like, she wasn't fake with it, like, she would like, called
mhm,
her out right away and said, "I don't really wanna talk to somebody that would do that to my friend." Apparently, to me, is like, she don't know what the fuck's going on. I didn't tell Marciana to do this, but, like, I think Layla said it in her confessional. It's like premeditated murder. It's like setting up the crime and then
yeah,
deciding not to go through with it. So, based on that scene, it did seem like to me and Marciano concocted this. They're gonna say this, they're gonna run with this storyline that Jesse slept with him, stick to it, and then it was like, at the last minute, she tried to pull out and say no,
yeah,
and then this is where she says, "Oh, well, you know, Marciano said that they, whoever they, this miraculous they is, they're gonna pay
mhm,
me this much," so he went forward with it anyway, and then now it's all crumbling and he's throwing everybody under the bus. Saying that, first of all, it doesn't, none of it even matches. Okay. What he
yeah,
told Layla in the beginning was that he had an ongoing affair with Jesse and that they slept
mhm.
together multiple times to now it's trickled down to like, I took a erection medicine. I had some cum in my boxer. So I thought we slept together, but really we didn't sleep together. Like, what
Mhm,
happened to you guys had an ongoing affair and y'all did it multiple times? Like,
yeah. So then I guess that changes our theory though that production came up with this Jesse Marciano because Demi was being a pain in the ass. If Jesse, I mean Demi and Marciano were talking about it and concocting it, right? Unless it was like Demi did like she heard from Marciano, they want me to go with this Jesse story, and Demi was like, yeah, yeah, you should do it because it took the heat off of her until she realized this is going to make Jesse the star, and they're not going to need her anymore. She doesn't even need
yeah,
to be on the show,
yeah,
so maybe that's why she changed her mind, not in terms of feeling bad about it or like
yeah.
knowing it wasn't true. It was knowing that she was losing her storyline to Jesse, basically.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's exactly that. I think it's a whole web of lies. It's a whole web of lies and or Jesse and Marciano really did sleep together and they're coming up with this stupid ass bullshit ass emotional affair to
Hmm.
cover up the dirty deed. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So, and I'm going with the fakeness of it all because no group of women have this much shit going on in their lives all at once. I'm just saying. I say it all the time. Like they should really follow me and my friends because everything, all the shit that each one of us are going through is so interesting. And I was like, and it
Hmm.
would be, but then people don't be real on camera because nobody wants their little dirty
No.
secrets out. So you have to like really
Well, and
embrace the role.
I mean, that is, I guess, the compelling thing about these women. Like, not only will they put all their shit out there, but they're willing to say they even did stuff they didn't do for the camera, right? Which we don't
It's
see
the
a lot of
money.
on.
It's the
Yeah.
money. They it must be paying a lot of money. They must be getting paid a
And
lot of
that's
coin.
And that's the difference, I think, between these reality shows with repeat casts, right? Where you're getting a contract, you're getting paid to be seen as a villain, right? And you like a housewives type show versus like a Love is Blind. You're on for one season. If you look like an ass, you don't get anything out of it. If Love is Blind isn't paying you, you're not getting the brand deals, you're doing it all for nothing. So I think if
Literally.
Love is Blind wants people to be villains and to make it watchable, they're gonna have to pay the cast better. And if you're getting paid how X amount of money and you look like a jackass for 8 episodes, who cares, right? You walk away with your money, go away, you don't need the brand deal. So that's something they might have to look into because you pay women enough and they'll do or say whatever because why not? You know it's not true. Your real family knows.
Your
So
husband knows. Yeah, the people
it's
in
a
your life
job,
know. I
right?
mean, it's a job.
Yeah.
It's a job. It's a role. And that's what it's giving. But then, like you said, we teeter the line of like, okay, we do see these real problems happening with Jordan and Jesse. We do see that he talks to her crazy. We do see that, like,
Hmm.
her family, like, they're on the verge of maybe divorcing or realizing that they're not, like, the most compatible match. She doesn't, she seems to
Hmm.
be conflicted. Um, with divorcing and like the kids of it all, but it's like it's Taylor Frankie Paul part two. It's almost like
Yeah.
they're repeating the storyline, and I don't buy it. I just
No.
don't buy it.
Well,
Like,
and when Demi ran off from the event and, the production had to chase her because she said she was going to go do a live and, like, spill it all, and Jessie was so upset on the phone, like, "Oh, that just ruins her NDA then." Like, that's what she was focusing on. Like, "She's spoiling my storyline." Not like, "The world's gonna find out I'm a cheater." She wasn't caring about that in the moment. She was like, "Oh, her NDA, like, she's gonna ruin our show, our story." That's what she's focused on, right? And
yeah,
what do you think of these men that are not the breadwinners, talking to their wives crazy? Like, why are these girls with these men?
bitch. The fact that he had a barbecue at her fucking house and I'm not invited, like the fact that Layla walked in and was like, "Oh, did you rent it out by
So
the
good.
hour?" Like, I'm like, did you? Because the fuck you think you're gonna have a barbecue up in my shit? I pay the bills here, and
Yeah.
I'm not invited, bitch. Actually, you get out. Like, I don't get it.
Mhm.
I don't get it. I don't get
No.
it. I don't get it. Like, I don't get it. I have no words because I don't get it. Like, I'm like, that would just like, usually, if, like, it's like a Chris Jenner and, like, Corey Gamble situation, right? Where it's like, "I'm the breadwinner, I got all the money, but at least you're
Mhm.
nice to me, at least I enjoy your company, at least you're my best friend, at least, like, you add something positive to my life, but
Yeah.
you, verbally, and emotionally abusing me and you ain't got no bread, get the fuck out," and apparently have a little wiener that's what Jen said, like, right? Like, that he has a
Mhm.
little winky wink. Bitch, get out. Bitch, get the fuck out. Like, I could fucking do bad all by myself. Like, get out. Like,
I think the only thing I can think of, and I don't know if this goes for all of them, but maybe for Zach, Jen's husband, but I think maybe they're good dads and they're good with the kids and hands-on, right? So they're just basically glorified nannies.
babysitter. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, well, you don't want to leave the kid's dad, and maybe the women don't. It's hard, I think, to see a stepmom step into that role, right? So they think like, oh, just stay with them so that I don't have to deal with that. But it's basically just like a nanny, right? A nanny that you
Yeah.
live with and have to sleep with too. So
Yeah, I think a lot of it is like wanting to keep that family front together and waiting for the
yeah.
kids maybe to get a little older before you separate,
Hmm.
divorce could be really hard on kids. I don't know. I just like divorce is so normal that I think to me divorce is so normalized. I think every single person I knows parents are divorced, but I
Hmm.
forget that what a difference that makes in a child's life to go from like living with two parents and having that
Yeah.
family front to like, oh, now we're in separate houses and I'm here one
Hmm.
day and here in the next day. So that has to be it. That or it's like he's just really good in bed, which I
Yeah.
don't get that vibe from Jordan at
No.
all. So I
uh,
don't know.
I
I don't
don't
know.
get that either. But speaking of Layla, what did you think of this whole hair thing with Jessie? Like well, I want your thoughts on it
It's a
because
thing.
yeah, you tell
It's
me.
definitely a thing. What's so crazy is I did not know it was going to be a storyline, but in episode 1, I think the first thing I wrote down in my notes was Layla's hair. Like, I was like, her hair, she needs to get it together. It's a matter of Jessie not being well versed in black hair, but it's also a matter of her not knowing what to do with her hair. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like, you got to know how to lay them edges, and you got to know what to do with your leave out. And if you don't know what you're doing, it's gonna look a mess. And um I think going to a black stylist was the right decision,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, and I don't think that I feel like she shouldn't have been so nervous to tell Jesse. I don't see any world in which Jesse would have a problem with that. I'm sure Jessie was thinking that herself, like that, like she said, I don't know how to do it, and so I think Layla could have gone to her. But either way,
Yeah.
we saw that Jessie was fine with it. I did see some comments on Reddit that were wondering why Layla was using the term ethnic hair. Did you think that was odd? Like they
I
said,
think
that's not how she should
I
word
think she
it.
was trying to be cautious, right? I think she
Okay.
was trying to purposely not say the wrong thing. So she said
Hmm.
ethnic, and people are like, bitch, just say your hair. Like, bitch, she
Yeah.
doesn't know how to deal with my hair. Like,
Yeah.
everybody can see that you're the only black girl on the show. You're the only
Hmm.
one that has different hair. You trying to wear your hair like them, and it's just not fucking working because you don't have the same texture of hair. So I think she was
Hmm.
just like being overly cautious of
Yeah.
like, yeah, like, she was just being overly cautious, and then it comes off, like, weird, right? It's like, "Bitch,
Yeah.
just say your hair," like, damn,
Yeah.
like, because it is definitely a thing. You want somebody who knows how to work with ethnic hair. Like,
Yeah.
my hair, for example, like, you guys, funny story, in Vegas, like, Ashley's like, do you like, I'm gonna make an appointment at the blow dry bar, like, do you want one? I'm like, "Bitch, no, I don't." Like, do you know
She's like, they
what
can't.
they can't, like, no, like, Imma come out looking a hot fucking mess if I go if I try and go to the blow dry bar. So
Yeah.
I know that if I want to press my hair, I'm gonna have to blow it out. I'm gonna have to really press it. Like, and I don't
Yeah.
straighten my hair because of the color. But the girl who does my hair, like, color wise, is a white lady. She does the blonde, but I won't have her style my hair or try and do any
Yeah.
styling. It's just color. So it is a thing. You have to know people who, and I'm glad she addressed it, right? Because I think a
Yeah.
lot of people were like, what the fuck's wrong with her hair? Like, half of the time
Mhm.
I could see her tracks, I could see her leave out, I could see her edges, and she probably has never been around anybody that has told her how to care for her hair, how to properly
Yeah.
manage it. So she's just going off of what she sees, what she's around, and she's trying to do the same thing, and it just doesn't work. I think she would actually look really good with, like, if she, like, did her natural curl, because I just know her hair is curly. We've never seen it curly,
Mhm.
but I know it is. If she did, like, a curly, like, weave or whatever,
Yeah.
and you see Jessie was, like, super impressed, like, with the
Mhm.
technique, with the style, it's very different. And she was like, oh, like, she could probably learn from it just by
Yeah.
watching the girl, like, do her hair. But I thought it was an important conversation for sure, and
Mhm.
and a conversation that a lot of people, including myself, were wondering, because I was like, what the fuck is wrong with Layla's fucking hair?
Yeah. Well, and I think it's just so indicative of what is like Utah, right? Like you said, you went there once and you were like, what's happening? Where is everybody? Because
Yeah.
that's what Layla said. She feels like the only person that needs their hair done this way. And so I think just the way she speaks, like you said, so carefully and so unsure, shows how much like she even herself doesn't know about how to talk about it, and that it's just not around her, which is crazy to me. I didn't know that Utah was like that. I know we see these Mormon people, but I kind of thought that was like a small slice of what Utah is, but it sounds like this is Utah. Like that everybody's like this, which
Yeah, the fact that
is
she was
shocking.
even able to find a black hairstylist is shocking.
Yeah.
And I wonder how her business is doing. Like, do you have a clientele? Do you just take all
Yeah.
the black people in Utah? Like, because it seems like things would be scarce. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, whose hair are you fucking doing? Like, I just don't know.
Right.
Like, but I was like, and I stopped through really quick, like, on the way to Colorado, and I was like, not a
Yeah.
one, huh? Not one. Okay, all right. I'm gonna just go ahead and get out of here then. Like, everyone was staring. I was like,
Well,
hello.
and hearing her explain why, though, it actually made sense. Because didn't she say something about the church believes something negative, like something
Yeah.
terrible? So I'm like, that
Yeah.
makes sense why there wouldn't be any black people in Utah, because why would you want to associate with this religion? I had no idea that their beliefs were that. Like, I knew they were the no drinking and the no sex, but I didn't know it went into like racist territory.
Me
So I'm like,
neither.
oh,
I had
okay,
no
this makes
idea.
sense
I had no
of why.
idea. And she said
Yeah.
that they just, like, denounced that 10 years ago, which is not a long
No.
time ago. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she was what, still 11,
Yeah.
12, or whatever when that was denounced. So it's like, so what was the rest of that like what was that like growing up, or how do you manage that? How are you a part of that church? And
Mhm.
like, and she's lighter skinned, so it's like, what about the people who are dark? Like, I don't like,
Yeah.
it just seems, I didn't know that it delved into that either. So
No. And what did you think of them? And maybe they are using the proper terminology, but a few of them kept referencing their culture, like as Mormons, and I thought that was odd. Or is that how they should say it? I was like, is religion a culture or no? Because
I don't think so.
I wouldn't have
I
put the
didn't think
two
so.
together. No,
Yeah,
okay. Because
I
like
didn't think so.
that's just
Yeah.
our culture, and I don't know. I just felt like that
It's
didn't seem
just
like the right word for
y'all
it.
bitches ain't Mormon. I'm sorry. Like,
No.
there's nothing that you guys do that are Mormon. That you don't follow the church. You're not in the church. Half of y'all don't even fucking go to church. So it's
No.
like, what's Mormon about you that you don't drink coffee, but you drink piss? Like, I don't want to hear it, allegedly. Like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
No, I agree. It's nasty. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like we covered all the main parts of the first 4 episodes. We kind of jumped around a bit, but it's hard not to when all this news is coming up. But do you think we missed anything important from the first 4 you want to talk about?
I think we got it. I feel like there was something that happened. How did episode 4 end? Oh, Jen. We missed the return of
Oh, right.
Jen.
We didn't
Yeah.
talk about Jen. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm glad she's doing better.
Mhm.
Obviously, it ended with her leaving last season and she was depressed and talked about something I don't think a lot of women know about, which is like, I don't know how you call it because there's postpartum depression, but she had like in partum depression. I don't know what the proper terminology is. So I'm sure there's a lot of people that related to that, but she seemed to be doing so much better. So that was good. Zach seems, I mean, now that we're seeing the other husbands, I feel like he's looking better than the first season because he was a mess the first season. So,
Yeah.
but
And
the,
I wonder if that's a common theme in like Mormonism, is like just having that, alpha male figure, quote unquote, and that they kind of
yeah,
like don't talk to their wives the best. I wonder if
yeah,
that's like common. You
I
guys let
think it
us know in the
is.
comments. Yeah.
It
Um,
is a very interesting juxtaposition, this show, right? Because they're Mormons with this culture where the men are the king and the women are just these subservient, like stay at home moms. But now we have these women who are the breadwinners and the decision makers and really running the show. So it is,
yeah.
like you said, though, they're really not that Mormon. None of them are really following it. But
Yeah.
it must be weird for these men, right? Because this is
Yeah.
not how they were
Then go,
raised. And
and if that's not how you raise, then go get you a traditional bitch. Like, but don't think that you're gonna be over here mooching on. And that's the thing. If you want to be traditional, then be traditional. Go get your ass a job and lead the household. Like,
yeah.
don't want to be traditional when it works for you. You know what I mean? Like,
hmm
bitch,
And
living up in my shit, being rude. Like,
I feel like
the fuck?
that's why they're trying to do this whole dad talk thing, but I'm not into the dad. I don't know. None of these men in the dad talk that I really like that much. They're all right. I mean,
Yeah.
Connor, Whitney's husband, seems fine, but nothing special really about them. So
Nobody's got it. They don't have they don't have it, whatever that it is. But I think the
yeah.
whole thing with Jen coming back, I really liked her conversation with Jesse, and like her saying, I was projecting of what was going on in my own marriage, but also like, are we all just
hmm
gonna forget that Jen was lying? Like, Jesse and to me said she was lying, and she was lying. Like, she was literally getting caught up in so many lies. I don't even remember what her lies were. I just remember from season 2, like, her ass was lying her
Yeah.
ass off. And then it was like it got too heavy. She was getting caught up in those lies, and then she took a mental health break. So,
hmm
I mean, we're not gonna negate from the fact that how you was lying. Like, you really was. So it's like they called you out on it.
Yeah. Yeah, she
So,
kind of is just went under the radar because she went away and now all this other drama came up, right? So
yeah.
I feel like I can sense that in the group. The women are kind of keeping her at arm's length. Like she doesn't feel as part of the group like she used to because I think they don't trust her, but they know she's pregnant. She has mental health issues. They don't want to like have any
Poke the
drama with
bear.
her. So she's
Yeah.
just kind of there, right?
Okay.
She's not like in the drama or they're not bringing up these old things just because she's pregnant. Maybe now that she's not pregnant anymore, they might get back into dealing with that or they're just gonna forget about it. But I think her main storyline was the whole Dancing with the Stars thing, and that was really it. So,
Yeah.
but do
Okay.
we see Whitney talking about that in these first 4 episodes? Or was that after? Do you know what I'm
Whitney?
talking
Yeah,
about?
no, Whitney has not been in
Oh, okay,
any
okay,
of the first 4 episodes so far. I
okay.
seen her in the preview, but she
Yeah.
has not made her return yet.
Okay, so we'll cover that in our next drop, which we're going to have out on Friday. And we're going to have a special Thanksgiving tea episode to keep everybody busy on Thanksgiving. Just with a fun little chat because we have time this week. It's not as crazy of a week, so we never get to just hop on and spill some tea. So we're going to do that. And then we have our Bravo Day with Salt Lake City and Potomac and Orange County, the reunion part 3, which will also be out today. So back at it. But any final thoughts on these first 4 episodes? I just checked to see if any new tea dropped, but I think we're in the clear for now. So
Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. Yeah,
it's a lot of info.
I need to catch up on the rest of the season and then catch up on the tea because I said these girls be giving it to us. Okay, they just be giving it to us. So, yeah, no other thoughts.
All right. Well, we will be back soon. Thanks for listening. Bye,
Bye,
guys.
guys.